We putting work, turning nothing into something. They feelings hurt, we turning nothing into something. Give a fuck if they don't like me, cause all this bread I count excites me. Turning nothing into something, nothing into something, turning nothing into something.
Remember this nonsense, ladies and gentlemen? Who remembers this nonsense right here? The Fab or the Flab 4? Oh boy, Hector. You talk so much garbage, boy. You talk so much garbage. What up? What's going on, everybody? What is going on? Holy crap. Give me a second here. Gotta work on something. Give me 1 second, though. But how's everybody doing? Hope you guys miss me. I missed y'all. And even if y'all don't miss me, we here. And y'all here with us. But it's been a couple of weeks, I think. It's been a couple of weeks since we did one of these. And a lot has happened in those couple of weeks. The team has played better, has been a little bit of the same nonsense. You don't even know what to think, right? They sweep the Phillies, then lose a series to the Marlins. They bounce back now and take a series from the Tigers. But we still don't know what to think of this team. We get high, we get low, but we're riding this roller coaster. I don't know what point in the roller coaster we're in right now. I don't even know what's the best part of a roller coaster, to be honest with you. I really don't. But this has been a wild one this year. It's been a wild one for me personally. And again, I don't remember exactly when is the last time we've spoken, but I remember the last couple of shows I did, and the reason why I kept it up there, I remember having some fun and talking about, whoa, the Fab Four, they're more playing like a Flab Four right now. And we talk about, all the numbers, and they weren't looking good. Pete went into a 0 for 12 stretch at the same time that Soto went to, I think it was the same thing. I think they were like 1 for 24 combined against the Nationals, I think it was, when the Nationals beat us 2 out of 3. And then, like I said, you bounce back, you take 2 or 3 from the Braves, you sweep the Phillies, and you're feeling good. And we're talking about, okay, here we go, the division again. And then here come the Marlins. And I said it before. The series. I said it before we even played the Phillies. I don't worry about the Phillies. For whatever reason, the Mets play well against the Phillies. It's a team like the Marlins that worries me. A team like the Marlins who's wrecked our season a couple of times, or has our part in wrecking our season a couple of times. I'll tell you right now, and I've said it a couple of times, I want no part of that Marlins series meaning anything at the end of the season. I am hoping that we've secured whatever the hell playoff spot we're going to have, whether it be a wild card, whether it be a division, whatever it is. I hope that's locked up, and that Marlins series we're not playing for anything. Because I just don't trust this team playing the Marlins. And I don't care who's in uniform. It doesn't matter. Shout out to Nelson. Shout out to Junior. I saw the comment a little while ago. I'm trying to think, what is this guy talking about? Badmouth his own teammate. When the hell have I badmouthed a teammate? I think I know what you're talking about. You know what I'm talking about. Where the hell you been? Where you been? Badmouth his own teammate. You know you might got it. I didn't badmouth you as a teammate. I might badmouth you as a participant in the Blood Thought Spaces. Anyways. But yeah, man, talk about badmouth. I've been getting badmouth, but we'll get into that. Well, we won't get into that, but we'll get into some fun. As many of you may have seen, your boy got a little lucky and had an opportunity to
have a conversation with Carlos Mendoza, our manager. And I hope you guys have checked that out. If you haven't, I'll try to put the link later on. I should have done that before, somewhere on here, and so you guys can check it out. But I'm sure most of you have already, and that was a lot of fun. That was a lot of fun. But what we want to have fun is watching this team, and that hasn't been necessarily the greatest of fun. What's going on, Jonathan? That hasn't necessarily been the greatest of fun. Pretty much for the entire season. I mean, it started out fun, but that was like a month. We're now 4 months into the season, and I said this. Where was it? In a space I did, I think. And it was, can this team figure out? And at that point, it was 25 games. Now it's down to like whatever the hell games. What it was 75, 65, 70, 30. 22 games left. 22 games left. Shout out my guy, The Chance, for reposting the stream. Appreciate you, brother. 22 games left now. Can this team figure out what it hasn't been able to do in 4 months? I'm not going to go through the breakdown of game by game and what's gone on since we last spoken. But if we just focus on today, and it's been a recurring problem, and we thought we fixed it with some of these guys, right? And it's the bullpen. We thought we fixed it. If we are honest, when we came here, we did the stream, and everywhere you went, yes, we still felt like we should have done more with the starting pitching. Absolutely. We still felt like we could have done more with the starting pitching. We still felt like, man, we should have gotten a better bat than a Cedric Mullins. I don't know when I think Cedric. I'm not even gonna say that, anyways. Than a Cedric Mullins, and you guys know I was never down with a Cedric Mullins. Now, once we got him, it was like, okay, we'll give it the benefit of the doubt, and let's hope it works out. And I guess he's a little bit better than Tyrone Taylor, but I'm a huge Tyrone Taylor guy, and to me, it was always about the other guys getting the job done. The Fab Four becoming a Fab Four, and not having me call them the Flab Four and making me stop, which they've done. And then we added a Mark Vientos to that. And we did a stream talking about how Mark Vientos was, what do you call him, the X factor then, but was like the most important thing to the offense. He needed to pick it up, especially when Alvy went down there. And we've seen what Mark Vientos has done. And I apologize because I had plans to have all of these numbers about what these guys are doing, but time caught up with me, and I barely got here in time to do the stream. But I didn't want to not do it. It's been a while. I had it scheduled. I said, let's do it. Afternoon game. We're used to evening games, right? But we came out here and we challenged these guys. And we said, if this season's going to turn around, we need these top four hitters, and we need Sean Manaea and Kodai Senga to get the job done. Well, those two guys haven't gotten the job done. Now, I think one of the last times we spoke, Nolan McLean had made his debut. And thank goodness for Nolan McLean, because he's gotten the job done. First Met ever to start out his career 4-0. Can you believe that? The history we've had with pitching. And listen, sometimes that circumstance, luck, all that good stuff. I haven't dove into the numbers to see, all of our big guys or whatever, to see which pitchers had a chance to go 4-0, and it was blown by a bullpen. They didn't get enough runs, so it wasn't their fault. But we know this kid has done it. And he's been impressive the whole time. His demeanor, how he carries himself, his presence on the mound, all of that. But what we saw, what was it, yesterday? I forget already. What we saw yesterday out there in Detroit, the team with the best record in the American League at the time, I'm not even sure if they still have it, where he didn't have his best stuff. He didn't have his best stuff. And he pitched. He pitched. He did what he's supposed to do. The definition of what he's supposed to do. Instead of just trying to go out there and throw and not being able to adjust end game and figure it out. At a time where we're dealing with guys like a Kodai Senga, whom if his laces ain't tied correctly, if the hairs on his arm are too long, if his fingernails aren't just right, then he can't give you a good performance. Here you have this young guy in game figuring out, okay, my sweeper's not working, curveball's not quite there, and shout out to Luis Torrens also for figuring this out and going away from that for a while and using his other pitches to get outs and then incorporating back the sweeper and the curve as he went along. And he had a rough, what was it, first inning? And then ended the game by retiring 14 in a row. That's what you call pitching. That's what you call pitching. And that's refreshing. After watching and listening to guys like Sean Manaea, who I'm a fan of. And yeah, I met him, so that helps. But then you watch him in the post game, and yeah, I feel good, but I have no idea what the hell's going on. What adjustments can you make? I don't know. Because everything is good. No, to hell everything is good. You better go figure something out, Sean. Something ain't right. Either you're not being honest about your health, or you need to make another adjustment. I don't know what it is. It's not my job to figure it out. But you need to figure it out. Kodai Senga, I'm done with. Honestly. And I know that's a little extreme. And at the end of the day, what we need is for these guys to figure it out. But again, are they going to figure out in 24 games, 22 games, what they haven't in 4 months as a team, as individuals? We'll see. And we're hoping they do. I'm going to tell you right now, there's no doubt in my mind this team is making the playoffs. That I don't question. I don't give a damn what the Reds are doing. I don't care.
It sucks that you win a series, right? You win a series, and now you lost early in the afternoon, and we'll see what happens. I haven't checked the scores because I don't check the scores. I tell you guys all the time, and ladies. To me, it's about what we're doing. If this team handles their business, everything else will take care of itself. Now, what sucks is when you lose and these other teams that you're in direct competition with for a playoff spot, whether it be division or wild card, go out there and win. That stinks. And you win when they win. And that's why you need to win more often than not. See, for the people that tell me, oh, forget about the division, Hector. Don't worry about the division. That's unrealistic. Okay, fine. So how exactly do we play for a wild card? Which games do we win? Which games do we don't win? If you don't care about the division, why are you losing your mind that we lost today? It's okay. We still have a wild card lead, right? Because it doesn't make sense. You need to go out there and win every damn day. Now, you're going to win every day? No. Are you going to have games like today where the offense, as good as it's been, is going to have a tough day? Yes. Could you still have possibly won that game? Absolutely. Maybe if Helsley doesn't come in there and blow it the hell up, you win the game. Now, do you want to tell me why the hell is Helsley in the game? When the hell are you going to pitch this guy? Again, at the trade deadline, there was nobody complaining about these bullpen moves. The idea was, okay, at least we bolstered that and we can shorten games. The talk was, okay, we're going to wear these guys out. What has it been about wearing them out? Helsley has stunk since he got here. Rogers has been uneven since he got here. But these guys have a track record of being very good to elite. And I posted today during the game, can we DFA Helsley? But no, that's not the answer. The answer is for him to figure it the hell out. Now, can he do it in 22 games? And how do you get him there? Is he someone that could even be DFA'd? I don't know. I mean, not DFA'd. Option to the minors? I don't know. Do you just carry him and just don't let him pitch for a while like they've done with other guys in the past and work on stuff behind the scenes? You can try that, but again, you still need to have him in game to have success and implement that and see if it works. Today wasn't a bad spot to bring him in there and see. Listen, the guy talked about, the talk has been about tipping pitches. They work on it. So let's see. You got to see it in game. We got to see it in game. And who do you want to bring in there? Who do we bring in there in that situation? You want to bring Stanek now? Now we're going to go for Stanek? Yeah, I'm not even sure who the hell else was available. I mean, everybody was available, but like, who to bring in that spot? Is Brazoban still on the roster? Maybe Brazoban. But I think Brazoban came up and was sent right back down. I think Brazoban might be on the IL. I forget. Appreciate you, Eddie. The guy that really pisses me off, honestly, the guy that really got to me today was Gregory Soto. He really pissed me off. How you come in there and you throw a damn wild pitch, and he's lucky it was first and second. I mean, maybe that's why. But he didn't even react right away. It's like he forgot there was guys on base. And then he started to make his way towards home. To the point that if you notice, the guy on second rounded third. Like, oh, you're not going to pay attention? I might go. And then you give up the hit. I don't want to kill Gregory Soto because he's been good for the most part. And I know it's been rough this last couple of outings. They've been a little uneven. He has a good one and bad ones. Well, he came out here, what was it, 8-9, his first 8-9 outings, no runs. But he's another one. We need him to get the job done. We need him to figure it back out. And come in there and get us out of that inning. He gets us out of that inning, who knows what happens? Maybe we come back and we keep scoring. We add a couple more runs. Make it a little bit harder for them. Now, I'm not saying that we're going to lay down. They're a good team. They're a good hitting team. But we need these guys to get the job done. So Soto needed to be better. Make Helsley the closer. Hey, maybe that's what it is, but that's not going to happen. I'm sorry. Right? That's not going to happen. We have the closer. We have a closer. It's an experience. Sometimes it's not a good one, but we have a closer. Shout out to my guy, Eddie. And if they want to win a championship, they're going to have to patch the starting pitching staff together. Stay prepared for bullpen games in the playoffs. McClain, Peterson are the only guaranteed starting pitchers in the rotation. Yeah. Pretty much. We'll see what Jonathan does in his second outing, which should be coming this Saturday. As of right now, they're scheduled to have Peterson on Friday, Tong on Saturday. the always dangerous DFA on Sunday. Usually when DFA goes against the Mets, I mean not DFA, TBA. When TBA goes against the Mets, it's usually a good performance. We'll see what he does for us. Yeah, it's crazy and it's unfortunate, right? And some people overreact to guys being sent down. But the problem with guys being sent down is because our starters haven't been getting the job done. And the other guys in the bullpen haven't been getting the job done. So you have to have a guy come up, throw you 3 innings, 3 1/3, 2 2/3. So you got to go get a fresh arm. And you got to send these guys down. And everybody, oh my gosh, how can you send them down? Because we're going to need another guy to throw another 3 innings tomorrow. And he can't do it. And he probably can't pitch the day after that. And maybe he'll give you a 1 inning the day after that. So let's bring a fresh arm up here. It's not ideal. It's not ideal. And we've lost some good guys. We've lost Enrico Garcia, who did well for us. Is he one of the great? No, but he did well. He deserved a longer run. We couldn't give it to him because we needed a fresh arm. Jose Castillo, who life comes at you fast. If you know, you know. Gets DFA'd after I take a picture with him on Friday night. And now got picked up by who was it? I forget who the hell. But that's because guys aren't getting the job done. Now, again, we've had Nolan McClain, excuse me, who's come up here and been phenomenal. I should probably pull up all his numbers. But we know he's 5-0. The ERA is like 1 and change, if I'm not mistaken, right? ERA is 1 and change, if I'm not mistaken. Oh, come on with this cough. I've been fine. Excuse me. So 4-0, 1.37 ERA, 26 in the third innings pitched, 28 strikeouts, 0.76 whip. Just great stuff. Just great stuff. Great stuff. 5 innings was it in his first start? 7 innings in his second start. 8 in his third. 6 yesterday. And that was just because we was killing them. And it was like, all right, let's get out of here. That's right. Castillo picked up by Seattle. Shout out to my center fielder, Christian, who supports in the streams and on the spaces. Not like my catcher. Oh, Junior's going to kill me. Oh, man. But McClain has been great, man. And to me, it's funny, right? Friday night, I didn't even really want to go to the game. And I had already planned to go to the game, right? I had already planned to do the game, had tickets and everything. We had bought tickets as part of a group. Shout out to my homie Joanna. My homie Joanna has done was something that I've always wanted to do. And she just completed it this year, ladies and gentlemen. And funny, because the last place she completed it at was out there in Seattle. And she's been to every major league stadium. She's been to every little oh, shout out to my homie Miriam. How you doing? Joanna's been to every major league stadium. So she just completed that journey, and she wanted to celebrate by going to a game. By going to a game at Citi Field. So she got a group of us together. We all went to the game. And that was a ball. And even that day, I was like, damn, you're going to kill me. But I might not go out there because I just wasn't feeling it. I had a lot of stuff going on. I wasn't feeling it. And then I said, wait a minute. I can't miss Jonathan. I can't miss a debut. I'm lucky enough to have the ticket for that day. Why not go? And ladies and gentlemen, sometimes the thing you don't want to do, they turn out to be the best. They turn out to be the best. It's Friday night turned into a great weekend. But we'll get to that in a second. But I think people were unfair in their reactions to what we saw from Jonathan. Jonathan who came out there in the first inning and got 3 outs, 3 up, 3 down on 6 pitches. 6 pitches. Then we come in the bottom of the first and we score 5 runs. I think it took like 24, 25 minutes, something like that. I'm not sure. It took a long time. And he comes out there, and I think he gave up a run or two. Was it that inning or was it in the third? But it wasn't a clean inning. It wasn't a clean inning, right? And then we come back in the second and we score 7 runs. So now here you have a kid who's making his debut, who's probably dealing with all kinds of, like, nerves, good and bad. Has a lights out, pretty good first inning. And then has to sit around there before his next 2 innings. To the point where we saw him sitting on the steps of the dugout right by the little entranceway when you go out onto the field, whatever you call it. Right where Mendy be. Right where me and Mendy had a little chat. Anxious to get back out there. So he was a little excited. And they dinged him up a little bit. The Marlins dinged him up a little bit. But I thought the kid pitched good. Because after that, when we had a couple of normal innings, he settled down. Right? He settled down. And finished pretty damn good. And was able to get through 5. With only the 1 earned run. Dealt with a couple of errors. That led to 3 earned runs. Didn't walk anybody. Was behind in the count a lot. Yeah, he was behind in the count a lot. Bobby, who wanted to send him back to St. Lucie after 1 pitch. If you know, you know. Love Bobby, but he's a psycho. And the kid ends up with 97 pitches, 63 of those for strikes, 6 strikeouts, no walks, like I said. Gave up 6 hits. But I thought a pretty good outing. And I'm looking forward to watching him on Saturday. I know we all are. But I thought some people were a little unfair in their criticism of Jonathan, in my opinion. But as far as the other guys, and again, I don't want to run through numbers because I don't have them all in front of me. But shout out to the Fab Four, man, who have all taken turns. And what we've been seeing, ladies and gentlemen, recently is what you want to see, is what you get from a good team, right? Not what we were seeing where they're all in a slump. And then they all hit. And maybe one guy hits, but it's just not enough. Well, lately, it's at least 2 of these guys, and then one of the supplementary part, one of the supporting role guys, one of the 5 through 9, which some games we've kind of cheesed with the 5 through 9, right? When you got, like there was a game we had, like, I think it was Vientos was batting 6th. Lima was batting 7th. McNeil was batting like 8th. Like, what the hell kind of 5 through 9 is that? We cheesy. But the point is, what we've had lately is at least two of the Fab Four contributing, along with a Luis Torrens. Warning track Louis, baby. No more warning track Louis, heck. No more warning track Louis, because warning track Louis was driving us crazy. But Luis Torrens has stepped up big time since we lost Alvy. 3 home runs, I think it is. Forget how many RBIs. Batting 3 and change. OPS over 1,000. Jeff McNeil, who many in here wanted DFA. You know how many times I was told that Jeff McNeil could not be part of this team? And if Jeff McNeil wasn't a part of this team, where the hell would we be in the last couple of weeks? Even a Starling Marte. Like I'm saying from the beginning, a healthy Marte is a productive Marte. And I know today's not the day to throw flowers on Marte as he had that crucial double play there today. But that's what we've seen. And that's what a good team does. You have your big guys because you always need your big guys contributing. And yeah, they're going to go through their rough patches. What you don't need is 4 guys to become the Fab 4. Give me a Fab 2 every now and then. Maybe even a Fab 3. But we've seen that all turn around. And here on Blunt Thoughts, we keep it blunt. As we're all over the place, ladies and gentlemen, as things are just popping in my head. Blah, 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 blah. Heck, you got to touch this. Heck, you got to touch that. But you're not going to be here all night. So make sure you hit a little bit of everything. But here on Blunt Thoughts, we keep it blunt. So we've been blunt about our opinion of Juan Soto, of Teflon Juan. Because we couldn't say, yo, Juan, we love you, my guy. And we know the numbers are going to be there. And yes, the back of the baseball card. And this and this and that. But we need some impact, my guy. We didn't bring you here to be old Marvis Cow and be a table setter and pass the baton. Gosh darn it, every now and then, we need you to take that baton across the finish line. But some people can't handle that. Oh, you hating. Oh, you can't say that because the Yankee fans. I don't give a shit about Yankee fans. Oh, you can't say that because the guys at the WF. I don't care. I'm going to give my opinion. And my opinion was we needed more from Juan. So because I couldn't say that, I started calling him Teflon Juan. Because you couldn't criticize this guy. The armor would come up. The armor being the police, the protectors. Well, you know we do, especially out here in the Heights. So what if Teflon Juan has 26 home runs? If 20 of them are solo? If 16 of them, and I'm making some of these numbers up, if 16 of them are freaking when the score, the margin in the score is 4 runs or more, where's the impact? But we also said when that impact comes, it's going to come in bunches. Holy crap. I haven't shaved, ladies and gentlemen. I look sick. I haven't had time. When that impact comes, it's going to be phenomenal. It's going to be insane. If he's ever going to get to the back of the baseball card as far as runners and scoring position, which was the problem, it's going to be insane. Raul says MVP 2025. Hey, before the season, that was my prediction that he would win the MVP. And he's making a push for it. And we know, MLB probably get rid of Shohei. But make a run for the division. Make a run for the division, win the division, and we'll see. And we'll see if for 2 years in a row they deny us an MVP. But he's definitely playing like one now. We've seen the numbers. SNY had the numbers. Again, I wanted to set a demarcation from the time that I came here and talked about the Fab 4 and the Fab 4. But I didn't get to do that. So I don't even have SNY's numbers here to share what he's been doing lately. They had some numbers of the last some games, 3-something average. Oh, look at that. I just go on SNY, and Francisco Alvarez just hit a grand slam a little while ago down there in his rehab. And I heard Mendoza say today that he will play tomorrow, and then we'll see what happens as far as joining the team in Cincinnati. But bring him up. Bring him up. Let's see if I find these numbers real quick that I saw from SNY. I believe it was SNY. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. And you know what? I'll even bring it on the screen. Why not? Let's do the share rule. Let's do the share rule because we may share something else in a little while anyways. And appreciate everybody in the room. We got a plus 100 of you beautiful people up in here. Appreciate you. We appreciate all the new subscribers lately.
Obviously, that has to do with the Mendy situation and all that good stuff. Maybe you guys expecting to see Mendy here pop up. Who knows when? And who knows? Who knows? Who the heck knows? But let's see what we got here. Let's see what we have here. Quiet down, quiet down, quiet down. And we're just gonna do it like this. We're not gonna mess around too much. No, we're not gonna do it like that. Hold on, heck. We're not gonna do it like that. We're not gonna do it like that, man, because that does not look clean. And we kind of don't want. There we go. This is a little bit better, man. This is better. This is better, man. Eso es mejor. Así sí. Here we go. Here we go. Juan Soto's last 25 games, and this was posted, I think it was yesterday. No, this was today. This was today, this morning, 8:25 a.m., with a nice little clip of my guy rounding the bases. Yeah, that's my guy, even though I've been critical of him. Last 25 games, 303 average, 12 home runs, 28 RBIs, 10 stolen bases. 10 stolen bases, 466 on base percentages, and a 1196 OPS. Incredible. Just incredible. Great stuff. Great stuff. Let's talk about the stolen bases, man. I don't know if you guys heard yesterday. I happened to be watching on TV, and they had a report where Steve Gibbs was talking about, and obviously we've heard him talk about Antoine Richardson and the impact that he's had on the stolen bases and the work that he puts in behind the scenes and studying these opposing pitches and then bringing the information to the guys in a way that they obviously are picking up, and we're capitalizing on that. I don't have all the numbers on stolen bases, but they're phenomenal. They're phenomenal. And if what we don't lead, we're on the top of as far as that's concerned. And then on the other side, we prevent stolen bases at a high clip too. Shout out to our catchers. But they talked about yesterday, Steve Gibbs talked about yesterday how Soto makes it a point to seek out Antoine Richardson every day to go over the preparation on the day's pitchers. Starting pitcher. Obviously, they probably go over the bullpen together. You know what I'm saying? And maybe he has a refresher every day on the bullpen guys. But definitely the starting pitcher every day to know what's going on. And then on top of that, because you could put in the work. You could put in the work. The execution has been at an elite level to the point where we're talking about this guy 40-30 maybe. Who the heck was thinking about Juan Soto being Kenny Lofton? You know what I'm saying? And stealing bases. Hell no. And listen, let me be honest here too. I was someone that didn't think he would be able to come here and hit 40 home runs. And not because of who was hitting around him in the lineup and none of that nonsense. But because I didn't think he'd be able to do it at Citi Field. It's a different stadium. We've seen guys struggle at Citi Field to hit the ball at the ballpark. But now, man, not Juan Soto, baby. Not Juan Soto. And I hope that the team is able to match him now as we weren't able to do in June. And yeah, again, some of that was maybe he could have had a more of an impactful hit here and there. But he had a phenomenal June. Individually, we had a terrible June as a team. He's having a phenomenal end to his season, and we're doing a little bit better. But now let's hope that everybody else can match. Mainly the pitching, because the hitting has been there. I forget the numbers, how many games. We were averaging close to 7 runs, if not more than 7 runs a game right now. We are scoring. Just this series, we scored what? 12, 10 in the first 2 games? Whatever the hell it was. Or 10 and 8, I forget. A lot of damn runs. And we've been scoring a lot of runs. 19 on Friday night. Juan Soto had his moment on Saturday, and his stupid pitching took it from him then. As we scored another 8 runs, 8 runs, and we lost that game? Bring this shit up, Heck. You got it right here. 19 runs on Friday, 8 runs on Saturday, and you lose. 5 on whatever on Sunday, but whatever. But you get the point. We've been scoring runs. 12 against the Braves, 9 another game against the Braves, 13 against the Phillies, 6-6. We're scoring runs. It's this damn pitching now that's killing us. In the National Series, 8, 4, 9. I mean 3, 1, 3, whatever. Mariners, 9 runs, 7 runs. We're scoring runs. We just got to pitch better. We got to figure it out. We got to figure it out. Shout out to all my peoples, man. Shout out to the Pope, my guy Rube. Shout out to Eva. What's up? How you doing? Shout out Raul, Miriam, Jr. My guy Jeffrey, I see you, brother. So we're going to see 22 games left. 22 games left. Can this team figure it out? You wish. Yeah, okay. Listen, I ain't even gonna lie to y'all. I ain't want to see Juan Soto, Francisco Lindor. They might have kicked my ass. Nah, man. But can we figure it all out? Can David Stearns make the right choices now? As far as his DFAs, his call-ups, his send-up, whatever. Can he make the right choice with Brandon Sproat? Is calling up a Brandon Sproat the right move? I know we feel like, yo, call all these guys up, especially with what we've seen with a McLean and the little bit we've seen with Tong. Right? But it's all of these things stand alone. We feel like, yeah, the fact that these guys have had success should give them more reason to bring these other guys up. Or not to bring the other guy up in Brandon Sproat. And maybe the reliever. That, you guys know, man. I don't be all into the minors. I know the name Sproat. I know McLean. And then lately I've been hearing, what is it? Something Ross, a reliever that some fans are calling for. Will it be that? But more importantly, ladies and gentlemen, the reality is we need a Ryan Helsley to figure it the hell out. We need a Rogers to be a little bit better than what he's been. Not that he's been terrible, better than what he's been. We need Soto to be more like when he first got here. I agree, Eva. The concern is the pitching. The concern is definitely the pitching. So now it's about David Stearns. Listen, Dylan Ross. That's the name. Dylan Ross. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Sam. Thank you, Jeffrey. I don't know if you guys remember both from Blunt Thoughts and really, I think it was a Mets Talk on Filter with Eddie. I went on one of my crazy rants. One of my crazy rants, and it happened a couple of times. And I talked about when they had the team meeting, right? When they had the players only meeting, and we kept talking about adjustments, and we kept talking about the hitting, and why are they not adjusting, and why do they look so confused? And we heard, I should have had it up here. This is something that I wanted to have up because I wanted to share. It's kind of long too. I forget what game it was. Steve Gelbs did a report in game. And he talked about how Eric Chavez, when they were playing the White Sox, or after they played the White Sox, went to the analytics department and said, yo, check this out. I need the numbers on fastballs. I know we're struggling hitting the fastball. I need the numbers. And they gave him the numbers individually and as a team, and they were horrendous. And we knew that. We're watching, and we're talking about it. And I said then, the meeting that needs to happen is between David Stearns and and Carlos Mendoza to figure out whether they're going to keep these hitting coaches. And I always said, I don't have a problem with Eric Chavez. I think it's the analytics. I think it's Jeremy Barnes. I think it's all the information. But I don't know if this meeting happened. But I said after that meeting, when they decide to keep them, because they're probably going to keep them, they need to call those guys in and they need to challenge them. They need to challenge them as to what they're doing and why they're not adjusting. Well, this happened. This happened. I don't know how it happened, but it happened. Eric Chavez recognized the problem, addressed the problem, and what are we here now? Oh, we're looking fastball and adjusting to everything else. Instead of all this percentage crap of this count, this guy throws this pitch, and this guy he's going to throw that pitch, and so on and so forth. So damn simple. So damn simple. And the offense has looked great. Now the problem has become the pitching, whom we all thought, this great pitching lab, it was making us believers. But now it's not looking good. Now the question about Jeremy Hefner are coming up again. Because there were questions about Jeremy Hefner. There were questions. But with everything that happened last season, it was like, okay, maybe there's something here. The pitching lab, Hefner, all of it. As Eva says, next offseason, what the hell happened there? Next offseason, we don't need Stern signing projects. Bring people up from the minors or get some solid starting pitchers and bullpen pieces. But it's funny that we traded for those dudes we all thought were going to be great, and they aren't as good with us, especially Helsley. What is it about the Mets uniform? Yeah, that's the thing. And that's what I'm saying. When those trades happen, and not only us as fans, those in the know, those that are paid to talk about this stuff, said the Mets had made the best moves. Or what? The point is, we were ranked as one of the winners in the trade deadline, and the bullpen was ranked as not the best, as one of the top 2 or 3. We haven't seen it, and those guys weren't projects. But also to that point about bringing up the minors, and I've said this in the spaces, and some have kind of agreed, some have kind of dismissed it. But maybe that's why he didn't go out there and make commitments to starting pitchers in the offseason. Or make a trade and spend even more of the prospects or higher prospects on getting starting pitchers in here, because he believed that these guys would eventually be able to come up and have an impact in the Jonah Tongs, in the Nolan McLeans, and maybe a Brandon Sproat. Maybe he didn't know which one. You have an idea, and you're trying to get him there, and now everybody's saying, oh, you should have been called these guys up here. But what's the guarantee that these guys would have performed the way they have if we would have called them up in May or in June, I should say, or even in July? We don't know that. Maybe they've been called up at the right time. But to your point, maybe that's why, they didn't go after these guys, because they had the plans of calling these guys up in the minors. And we should be able to continue to see that. And we're probably going to be frustrated in the offseason again, because we're not going to go out there probably and make those splashy moves. And there may be another project or two, but I agree with you. These projects need to be limited. We can't have 3 or 4 projects in the bullpen. I mean, in a starting rotation. Even if those projects create themselves from guys from within. You can't have so many question marks. Right? Kodai Senga to me was always a question mark. You're bringing in Clay Holmes, but that's an unknown, also an unknown. Making a transition from bullpen to starter, making a big jump in innings, pitches, all that stuff. You don't know how that's gonna work out. Sean Mania, okay, but it still was. Is that sustainable? Is what he did? Can it carry over? Frankie Montas, a project of all projects, health wise, stuff wise, everything. Who else? I don't think there was a short thing in the rotation besides maybe a David Peterson. Tyler McGill, who had any confidence in him besides my guy, the Schlap? The Schlau. The Schlap, I just called. What's wrong with me? My bad. As I mentioned the Schlau, I don't know why it came to mind, but it's blunt thoughts and we do things the way we do it. So right now, my mind, we're gonna take a moment here to remember and honor my guy Elliot, who what was it, 2 days ago now? I think about 2 days ago. Made a year since his passing. If you don't know my guy Elliot, you should know. We were actually on the stream last year, live watching on when we found out um, that he was having a tough time. And then a couple of days later we found out that he had moved on to the next life. So let's take a quick moment to honor my guy Elliot. Quick moment. And at space the other day, we're gonna honor him the best way we know how. 89 wins. Yeah. And you know what? Maybe 89 wins is what it'll take again to make these damn players. Because we were talking about in the space the other day. Could you believe that that's because I forget who was giving numbers. I mean, we do this, do that, whatever. And it was adding up to 89 wins. It was like, oh man, 89 wins again? I don't know, man. Whatever it takes. Whatever it takes. But shout out to my guy Elliot. As we get back, let's bring this back here now. Where were we? Yeah, man. So listen, Eric Chavez has made the adjustments. Now we need to see what Jeremy Hefner and the pitching lab, because the pitching lab is everything, right? The analytics, the assistant pitching coach, and all of that good stuff. If they can now make adjustments and figure things out, they got to figure out this Housley dude. You got to figure him out. DFA him is not the answer. That's a fair point. That's a fair point, Amizi. Can't kill Stearns for not signing a Corbin Burns or a Max Fried to lengthy contracts, but he overdid it signing 3 projects in Canning, Holmes, and I forgot about Canning. That was another one that was an unknown. Listen, when we got Canning, who was excited about that? I know I wasn't. Shoot, but Canning was right up there. That's one of our best pitchers before he got hurt. The game he got hurt, he was out there pitching a great game. And
a little bit. But it looked like he was turning it back around. But yeah, that was probably the mistake. The problem is too many unknowns. Too many unknowns. So yeah, we had depth. Oh, we got depth. We got 8 starters. If you want, you throw Blackburn in there, right? But they all had question marks. Every single one of them had question marks. David Peterson, is he going to be able to duplicate it now? Was it really the hip surgery? I remember Anthony McCarron telling me when I said I expect David Peterson to make the jump and be the ace of this team, or to be act like an ace, even if it's not the ace, but take that next step. And he said yes. But will he be able to make the jump in innings necessary to do that? So he had questions. Kodai Senga, he's a question mark. Sean Mania, is he going to be able to duplicate it? Did he really figure something out? Frankie Montas, the project of all projects. Griffin Canning, an 11 ERA dude, whatever the hell his ERA was. Paul Blackburn, end of the year, I think on injury, right? Every single one of these guys was a question mark. Didn't work out. Last year, maybe it was a little bit of the same, and it did work out. This year, it didn't. This year, it didn't. So, yeah, we can't kill him for not going after all these other guys. But at the same time, we could say, hey, dude, we ain't got to be old projects. But like I said, maybe the plan all along was to eventually bring these young guys up, you know? And again, we say, why not earlier? I like to think that they did it at the right time. Hopefully, it's just not too late. Hopefully, it's just not too late. But we'll see, man. Big series coming up this weekend. Huge series coming up this weekend. You don't want to mess around. This series has direct impact on your playoff possibilities. Go out there and handle your business. I expect a lot of offense. We know Cincinnati's a hitter's ballpark. Let's us take advantage of it and minimize their offense as much as possible. Let's revert back to this real quick. The only really short things I remember in the starting pitching market was Burns and Freed. I might be missing some guys. Let me know, chat. You guys want a Severino or Quintana back? I mean, we talked about it all the time. I felt like Quintana, we got what we were going to get out of him. I was wrong. I did want Severino back. Not that I wanted him back, but I wouldn't have minded bringing him back because I felt like, yo, maybe we figured something out with him. And it's someone that we knew didn't have to adjust to New York and all of that. Like, he had a good year with us. So I would have brought him back at the right price. Now, is he still on the IL? I think he went on the IL, right? He had a decent year. Struggled at home. Chalk it up to that minor league ballpark, whatever. Out in Sacramento, I don't know. He had pretty good numbers on the road. But then when that conversation started happening, especially around the trade deadline, they started struggling a little bit on the road as well. And I think now he's on the IL. So maybe we dodged a bullet with that one too. But maybe if we had a Severino, we could have been doing a little better. Maybe, or not. I think definitely if we had a Quintana, that would have went a long way. Because if anything, Quintana gave it, and so did Severino. One thing about those guys is they gave you innings. They gave you innings. They were going to give you 6-7 innings. And that's what we've needed. So we could have definitely used the Quintana, but I'm not going to sit here and say, oh, we should. No. Because I was okay with letting them go. But yeah, exactly. Damn it, Helsley. In the sense that, like, damn it, like, and I'm not somebody that really follows guys or anything like, but you look at the numbers and it's like, okay, this should be good. Even if he has to adjust the eighth inning. It's not like you're adjusting to the sixth inning. We're not turning you into a mop-up guy or into a long man. So I don't know what the hell's going on there. But I don't want to be on here much more than an hour. We're approaching an hour. Listen, big weekend coming up. You got to go out there and handle these Reds. You got to go out there and handle these Reds. I'm not even going to say win a series. I'm not even going to say win a series. Go out there and sweep these guys. Go out there and sweep these guys. And then you go to Philadelphia. And you got to go out there and handle your business, in my opinion. My bad. So I'm being distracted. I apologize. That's why I don't like to look at my phone when I'm doing these things. Because it's no good. It's bad business. It's bad business. It's just not good. Nothing anybody want to see. Nothing anybody wants to see. But on that note, let's get it ready to wrap it up. But I did want to touch on what happened with me this weekend. Because it's something that I think it's for all of us, right? I just happen to be the fortunate one to go through it. But you guys have heard me joke about, how Carlos Mendoza somehow, some way knows who the hell I am. I've shared it here when I met him back in Amazing Day, and he knew who the hell I was, and I couldn't believe it. I talked about here how we went to Baltimore, and I shouted out to him from the stands, turned around, immediately knew who I was again, said what's up, told me to calm the hell down, that everything was going to be okay. And then Friday night, ladies and gentlemen, and we're going to keep this quick. I'm out of the game. Again, I didn't want to go to the game. As the day went on, I didn't want to go to the game. I pushed myself to the game, and it was the best thing I did. And one thing led to another. It was a great game. It was 19-8, 19 runs. Everybody was feeling good. Jonathan debut. Nobody wants to go home. We're hanging out by the Apple for what? Like an hour and change? I don't even remember, 45 minutes at least. We finally decide, okay, let's get out of here. We start working our way. Me and my boy Quay, shout out Quay, who's in the back here. Shout out to my homie Joanna. Shout out my homie Krishna. They with us. And they lag a little bit behind. And we walking, and where I park, I've said it before. Only the players have better parking than I do. I don't deal with traffic getting out of park. Anyways, whatever. And it's free. But to get to my parking, I gotta walk by the park players lot. So as we're walking by the players lot and we're waiting, Crazy and I stop. We're waiting and we're waiting. And then they finally get there. They're like, let's wait. Let's hang out. Joanna, who I actually met by the players lot through my homie Jess, whom I met as a seatmate years ago already. Right? And then I used to stay with my nieces and nephew when they were younger. They want let's stay after the game. Sure, I don't care. I'm a kid just like y'all when it comes to this. I don't mind. Get to know people. So yeah, sometimes I stop by there. Anyways, long story short, we're hanging out. Again, I told Mendy when I met him at FanFest, yo, I do a little thing. If you think you want to come on, then he said yes, I'll come on. Then he said yes, I come on. But I don't know how to get in contact with Mendy. So I've been thinking, how's this gonna happen? And the way for me to make it happen, I've been trying to go to games early and see if I can get close to the dugout maybe. And try to see if I can have a conversation with him. But it hasn't happened. I haven't been able to get there early enough. Whatever. Fast forward Friday night. We there. I'm like, yo, Quays, check this out. I'm not going to try to stop Mendy if we see him. From experience, I know him and Brendan and more like the last guys to come out all the time. So I was like, yo, I know if we stay here that long and he sees me, I think he'll stop. I'm not afraid to say it. I think he'll stop. And that's exactly what happened, contrary to popular belief. We were there. Nimble comes out. If you know the setup, the players lot is a one side, is a two-way street, one lane each way, sidewalk across the street. That's where they make the fans stand if you're going to stand out there and wait on the sidewalk. Nimble comes out, pulls up right up to the curb. Everybody lines up. I wouldn't say there was like 35, 40 people out there that night. That's how excited everybody was. Everybody lines up for Nimble because Nimble takes care of everybody. Shout out Brandon Nimble. I've said this before. And a couple of minutes later, as I'm standing, I'm just standing there. I'm not gonna go take a picture with Nemo. I got Nemo's autograph in Philadelphia years ago at a game that I was sitting right by third base. You know what I do with Nemo when I see him there? The times that I've been there, at least once a year, I go to Nim when I say, Nims, you don't know who the hell I am, and you're probably not gonna remember me, and you're not gonna remember this. But every year I make it a point to come in. I say thank you for all of us, for all the fans, and for what you do. That's what I do. And maybe I'll take a picture. No autograph, no. Jose Castillo that night, everybody went home. When he was done with everybody, almost ready to leave. Hey, Jose, thank you for what you've done this year. Mind if we take a pic? And a lot of guys, I just let them go. Whatever. Whoever, I'm just there to hang out with the people and talk. Anyways, Mendy comes out, pulls up right behind Nemo, and I'll let him tell it. Check this out, because this was pretty damn cool today. Shout out to the homie Quays who sent me that, because I didn't see it. But I'll let Nemo tell it what happened. Here we go. My bad. Wrong one. Then again, shout out to the guys at Meet at the Apple. This was at Meet at the Apple. I guess this was done on Sunday, it sounds like. This was done on Sunday. Shout out, I think his name is John Barron, who brought it up. And this is what happened. Hold on a second.
We got to give you some credit as well. We saw you do something pretty cool that I want to bring up. Hector from Washington Heights, on Friday night after the game, you met him in the parking lot, and you must have had a nice conversation with him because you invited him to the game, got him some nice seats, and had him on the field before the game on Saturday. So how did that all come about? Really cool, by the way, for you to do that.
Yeah, look, I think I met him on the Fan Fest early in January. So, we kind of chat there, and I know he's a huge Mets fan. And the other day, he's late at night, and I'm, getting out of the parking lot, and Brandon Nemo's in front of me, and a lot of the fans there.
Stuck in the Nemo traffic.
So I'm right there, and then I saw him. So I rolled the window down. I was like, "What's up, Hector? How are you, man?" And it's like, typical fan, right? Intense and asking questions, and in a good way, like we feel it. We know. I've been a fan too, growing up of games and teams, and I know how they feel. So I was like, "You're coming to the game tomorrow?" And it's like, "Nah." And I was like, "What if I leave you BP passes and I'll give you tickets?" Like his eyes were like, "Well, you gotta." And he was kind of like, "Somebody give me a pencil, gotta give me a piece of paper." So yeah, I mean, I think it's just something that part of the connection between the team, me as a manager, we're a fan base. Some of these guys that are supporting the team through the good, through the bad times. And it was good to see him out here yesterday on the field. We didn't get the victory, so Hector, you got to get better. But yeah, no, it was pretty cool. And just for me, man, like I know how hard it is and how much pain and excitement, like the ups and downs, just like we do for the fans. I think it's just more like appreciation for them.
And I appreciate
so the guy I want to talk to you right now is Mark.
But what do you mean I got to get better? What did I do? Have me back, and we'll see what happens. Have me as your honorary bench coach. Come on, Crazy. You fell asleep on me. Bring me back, man. Bring me back. Bring me back to the people. We're done with Mendy. But, man, I thought I'd share that. I thought it was pretty cool. Again, Quay sent me that earlier. I didn't even see it. I don't really watch these guys. I don't watch anything. I don't have time. But, again, shout out to the guys that meet at the Apple. And thank you. Thank you for that. I appreciate that. Shout out to Mendy again for the invite and making that happen. Shout out to Edgar, the traveling secretary, who arranged everything. And was great. And it was a great time, ladies and gentlemen. But I hope you guys enjoyed that as much as I did. Because that's for us. That's for us. And we all made that happen. The fact that you guys come in here and politic with me and we have some fun, and sometimes you fire me up And sometimes I fire you up, and maybe we curse each other out or whatever, but we keep coming back. Why? Because we love this team. We love this team, right? And we express that, and we're blunt about it. And even though some other people, like fan police, don't like it and have a problem with it, well, guess what? The manager has noticed. I don't know how. You make up your own stories. Have fun. The manager has noticed and felt like making a connection through me to you, the fans. And we're small, but we're going to grow. We're going to grow. And we're going to need your help to keep growing. So help us out and make sure you share this. Let the people know. Because you never know what will happen next at Blunt Thoughts. And I'm not going to lie. I don't know how, again, because I'm the worst. It's not like I said, hey, Mendy, I need a formal Q&A, like, for a little bit longer. Because, ladies and gentlemen, that wasn't planned. That wasn't planned. It's not like I said, hey, yeah, sure, I'll come. And can you answer some questions? No. Like we often do. Like he was doing that night. As if you saw the interview, or I don't even like calling it an interview, the conversation. We put a little bit of the Friday night exchange. We didn't put all of it because I don't want to really share that conversation. But Quaze was filming. I didn't even know he was doing that. And the way that the little Q&A took place was he invited me down in the dugout once we got there on Saturday. He invited me down in the dugout. We're chit-chatting. Quaze was filming it. He saw him doing it. He jokingly said, what's up with this? I said, that's my boy Quaze. We're just having fun. We just like to film stuff just to have it, whatever, to see. Anything happens, whatever. And I said, but since we're doing that, do you mind answering a couple of questions? And we could have it like a little formal thing. And he said, sure, let's do it. And as soon as he said, sure, let's do it, I did the intro. I didn't even tell Quaze. I just turned in. I did the intro. And I started asking the questions. And we had a conversation. Because I don't even know, consider them questions. It's not like I had them planned or anything like that. I did tell myself, if I get an opportunity, I think I'll start with this. Because it's been a hot topic, right? And if you watch it and you pay attention, when I get to the second question, if you want to call it that, I kind of got stuck of where I was going. And then we flowed from there. But again, man, thank you to Mendy. Thank you to Edgar. Thank you to the guys that meet at the Apple for bringing that to light and asking him about it. Thank you to you guys and everybody that reacted to it, as we haven't had a chance to formally say thank you to everybody. I've tried to respond to everybody that DM'd me, to everybody that responded, that wrote in the comment. Mostly on X, haven't got to do it to everybody on the YouTube yet, on the stream itself that has commented there. Thank you. We appreciate you. But again, this happened, yes, because it's how I am, whatever the case may be, but because you guys have helped to motivate me to keep doing this for us, whatever it is, right? Again, the fan police gets, and this is not even fan police, the content creator police gets upset that I don't call myself a content creator, or that I've said I don't consider myself a content creator. Oh, well, yes, you are, Hector. You're a content creator, and you need to be responsible for what you tell your followers. Screw you. This is Blunt Thoughts, and we do whatever the hell we want. But we keep it real. And real recognize real. Suckers hate. Anyways, whatever. Big series this weekend, ladies and gentlemen. Big series this weekend. Let me get off of that topic because I'm going to go somewhere I don't want to go. But again, just wanted to share that. I just want to say thank you to everyone. To everyone. Thank you to my guy Quaze for being there. and having the phone on, the camera. Let's call it the camera, but with the phone on. Thank you, and shout out to my homie Joanna, who put a little promo video together. I didn't even know she was doing that. It was dope. But big series this weekend, man. Big series this weekend. And my blunt thought is you better go out there and sweep these bums. I don't give a damn who's pitching for them. I don't give a damn what the hell they're doing. We need to handle our business. David Peterson, get back to handling your business. Get back to handling your business. And we'll see what Jonathan has on Saturday. And then TBA. And then TBA. And then hopefully your boy will be out in Philly for a game or two. We'll see what happens. And we handle business with them. But I'm excited, ladies and gentlemen. Again, I'm confident that we're making the playoffs. I'm not worried about that. I'm not worried about losing no damn wild card. I don't give a damn what the Giants are doing. I don't give a damn what the Reds are doing until this weekend. And this weekend, what they're going to do is get their asses kicked by us. We just got to handle business. You handle your business, everything else takes care of itself. And again, I feel good. We're getting contributions up and down this lineup. Starlin Marte, Jeff McNeil. Tyrone Taylor didn't play for like 2 weeks. Came back, had 3, 4, 5 games where he was driving in 3, 4 runs. Now, unfortunately, dealing with a little hamstring. Hopefully, he's able to get over that. Because if not, we're going to be in trouble. We can't play Jeff McNeil every day. And we sure don't want to see Cedric Mullins. And I know some people are talking about Jose Siri, but what the hell can we expect from Jose Siri? And Jose Siri is really not an offensive player anyways, right? So hopefully Tyrone Taylor is able to get over that quickly and come back and stay effective. Oh, my God. How can I forget? It's one of the guys that I really wanted to talk about, too. We'll close on throwing some flowers. My guy, Mike Vientos. Wait. People really wanted to send Mark Vientos back down to the minors. Get him out of here. This guy sucks. What a bust. When he had those comments where he talked about nobody, I've always been a forgotten man. Look at him. Even though he answered back that night with a big home run. But again, I think it was the last stream where we talked about Mark Vientos was the key to the offense. Well, he's been just that. He's been just that. Now he needs to continue it too. That's the last couple of games. Well, no, because yesterday he had the double. Today, not so good. But we saw, I talked about what I saw Alvy with the grand slam. I know Mendy said he's going to play again tomorrow when they ask him about Cincinnati, and then they'll see. Listen, that guy's not human. That guy's not human. On that note, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to get out of here. We'll keep this to an hour and less than an hour and 20 minutes. Thank you as always. Well, we got 150 plus, 180 plus of you beautiful people up in here right now at the moment. Appreciate anybody that goes back and watches on the replay, whether it be on the YouTube or on X itself. Appreciate everybody in here that came in and made comments and just watched and hung out. We appreciate you. Now, let's see if this team appreciates us and gives us a strong finish for riding it out all year. And yeah, we get a little nuts sometimes. But that's because we love this team. And we want to be at the Canyon and Heroes doing the biggest tick celebration you're ever going to see. Have a good night, everybody. Love you guys, man. LFGM. Peace.
full of animals and we made ourselves with minimal. Fuck you, no subliminals. Putting in this work, nigga. That's why they feelings hurt, nigga. Swear we need a hearse cause we rep our shites to the dirt, nigga. If I'm in the club, I'm